Hi everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live this week. My name's Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Thank you all for joining me today. It's great to have you along, whether or not you are joining me live today or watching the replay, or perhaps you're watching on Facebook later on. Thank you so much. I'm a little bit late jumping on today, just a few minutes. It's one of those days where you think you have all the time in the world and just trundle along, and then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, it's time to go live and you still have things to prepare. So, hi Tina Marie, hi Tracy, great to have you here ladies. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, so if anyone knows where that time goes, can you let me know? Because I have no idea where that time goes. And I thought I was doing so well today and I had so much time up my sleeve, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, it's time to go live. So, okay, let me just call this up on my iPad so that I can see all your comments there. So, and I just realized before I went live that I hadn't had lunch, although I had late breakfast. And so I thought, oh, I'll quickly make myself a shake and I can have a few sips of that so that I don't get a grumbly tummy while I'm filming, because that's so distracting. Oh, that's you every day, Tina. Always, yeah, the time just creeps up, doesn't it? And then before you know it, it's like time to do whatever it is you need to do, and you think, oh my goodness, where's that time gone? Hey, Laurie, great to see you this week. Thanks for joining. Hi Christy, great to see you this week too. We've got a few jumping on, that's awesome. So how was everyone's weekend? Let me know, what did you get up to? And did you do any crafting? I always ask you that every week. If you did any crafting this weekend, just gone. Straightening up my camera, I'm a little bit wonky. There we go, hopefully that's a bit better. So yeah, so what have you all been up to? We had an extremely hot weekend here in Sydney over the weekend. We had in the 40s, in the low 40s. So it was kind of the weekend that you stayed indoors in the air conditioning. Didn't go out and do anything at all. My husband did. He had to go out and do a few things, but I left him to it. He copes a bit better with the heat. I don't cope so well with the heat nowadays. Getting older or something. Oh, Tina Marie did absolutely nothing as well. Stayed in the air conditioning too. Yep. Very wise, very wise. Oh, it was ridiculously hot. It was so crazy. And then yesterday there was a hot wind to go along with it as well. So there wasn't even any relief with the breeze until the evening, and then it dropped by about 10 degrees like that, just really quickly. And the wind changed direction. Instead of coming from the north, I think it was coming up from the south, I think, or did it come from the east? I'm not sure if it was coastal or southern. But anyway, it cooled it down quite quickly, so that was nice. So it was easier to sleep last night. So, oh, Tina made some cards on the weekend. Fantastic. That is awesome. How many did you make, Tina? What did I do? I'm trying to think what I did. Saturday, we had our Technique Club online class. So I was preparing for that. And in fact, I had some more technical difficulties last week, which carried on from the week before and the week before that. I think I've had like about 3 weeks of technical difficulties, which is both at home and at work. So it's just like they're following me everywhere. Anyway, so we got there in the end and got it all sorted. But yeah, it came down to the wire of me getting that class up online for the ladies just in time. I think I got it done with about 10 minutes to spare. So yeah, that was good to get that done. And I've seen some of the ladies have already finished their cards from that Technique Club, and they looked amazing. They did amazing work, so well done. And yeah, they love learning those new techniques every month. So if you're interested in learning some new techniques each month, ask me about my technique club. I run it on the 4th Saturday of each month, and every month we learn a new technique. So December is a little bit different. We just have to bring it forward a week because of Christmas. So December's is going to be the 19th of December. And I'll be posting up. I've been designing for that over the weekend and starting to think about what we're going to be doing. So yeah, so let me know if you'd like more information about that, and I can give you the information about my technique club and how that runs. Oh, hi Amanda, great to see you. Hi Robin, great to see you as well. Lovely to have you here. Yes, so yeah, so Technique Club is a lot of fun. I'm just going to plug in my charger because of all the technical difficulties I've been having over the past few weeks, couple of weeks. I now don't want to have them on my lives. So usually my lives run okay. So hopefully today will be all good. So also another class that I've got on next month. I just have the 2 classes on next month. So that is my Technique Club. And then I've got my, oh actually no, I've got 3. I've got my Tag Buffet class coming up on the 5th. That's a rerun from the Tag Buffet class I held back in, I can't remember if it was August or September. So I've re-offered that one. So that's rerunning on the 5th, and that one has closed now. But I also have my Joy to the World Paper Pumpkin class, and this is going to be a Zoom class. Let me go this side. So this is the beautiful paper pumpkin, and I did show that on my live either last week or the week before. I can't remember which week it was. And we opened up the box and had a look at all of the components in there. So if you would like to join in that class, then it's going to be Monday evening, Monday the 5th, no, Monday the 7th, sorry, getting my dates mixed up, Monday the 7th at 7 p.m. via Zoom. So if you would like to join in that, you can purchase the Paper Pumpkin Kit through my online store, and it's only $37, so it's very affordable, and it creates 8 cards, and then you have the ink spot and the stamp set to then go on and make some more beautiful creations of your own. So if you'd like to join us for that, then just jump onto my online store and purchase that Paper Pumpkin Kit, and then I will send you the Zoom link. I haven't actually put it up just yet. I'm going to be putting that up later this week, and then anybody that purchases those kits will be sent that link, and then you can come along and join us next Monday. It's actually a week from today. Oh, getting a little croak there. Excuse me. Probably because I just drank my shake before I went live and all that. Well, not that it's dairy, but, you know, it's a bit thicker. Let me just take a sip of water. Okay. Yes, so that will be a lot of fun having that Zoom class. That'll be live. And then my Technique Club will be on Saturday the 19th. And that's a pre-recorded video. And you also get all PDFs for all of the projects that we make with Technique Club. I do a PDF for each one of those, so you get a copy of that as well. So then you can either create along with that or create along with the video, or you can do a bit of both. And then of course I have my Facebook Lives every Monday. Now let me jump on to, oh, Tina Marie made 13 cards on the weekend. Oh my goodness, only 13? My goodness. If I could make 13 cards in a weekend, I would be over the moon. I'm lucky to get a couple made on the weekends. So let me tell you some exciting things, and I've been talking about it the last couple of weeks. We have got coming our beautiful mini catalogue. Now, do you see all those tabs at the top? I think I'm in trouble. That's my wish list. There are so many beautiful products in this catalogue, and I already have some that I was able to pre-order because I attended the demonstrator event called On Stage, which I spoke about a few weeks ago. Oh, hi Alison, great to see you. Oh, no problem. You go when you need to, not a worry. Yes, so as demonstrators, we are actually able to start ordering from this catalogue tomorrow. So I'm so excited. And look at my wish list. My goodness, all these things. So I'm pretty excited. I'm going to have to work out which ones I get now and which ones I get later. Now, not only that, but we have the Celebration brochure as well. Celebration is our biggest and one of the most popular promotions that we have all year. And it's going to be running in January and February. And what it is with every $90 purchase that you make, you then get a free product from this that you can get to choose from this Celebration brochure. And there's level 1 and level 2 products in there. So level 1 are for a $90 order and level 2 are for a $180 order. Or if you're at the level 2, you can actually choose 2 level 1s of the $90 products if you choose to, rather than the $180. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you need clarification. So both of these, as demonstrators, we can start ordering those products tomorrow. Now, you might be wondering why I'm telling you that now. It's because if you join my team during December, you'll be able to put these products from the mini catalog into your starter kit. So that is super awesome. The starter kit is only $169, but you get to choose $235 worth of product in your starter kit, plus you get free postage, and then you get a 20% discount on all of your future products, or future orders, I should say. So it's a great time to join, and you'll be able to get these beautiful new products early. Now, I can't show you the inside at the moment because it hasn't gone live yet to customers. It will go live on the 5th of January. But if you don't want to wait till the 5th of January, then you can join my team and pop these products in your starter kit and then start ordering them straight away from December. If you would like more information about that, let me know. And I can give you more information. And I also have some nice little brochures here about joining Stampin' Up. So if you would like one of those, if that's something that you're interested in and you'd like a little bit more information, I'm happy to send one of these little brochures to you as well, which will give you a bit more of an overview of what it means to join Stampin' Up. And also too, I would love to answer any questions that you do have. Now, just to let you know that when you do join Stampin' Up, there's no pressure to sell. If you want to just purchase the products for yourself and for your own crafting hobby, then you certainly can do that. That's not a problem. And if you decide that you don't want to hang around, or you've tried it out and then you think, no, it's not really for me, not a problem. You just go back to being a customer. You simply stop ordering as a demonstrator and go back to being a customer. And there's no lock-in period. There's no exit penalties or anything like that. So it's really, really simple. So just, yeah, let me know if you'd like more information about that. So it's super exciting. I can't wait to put my order in tomorrow. Now, in saying that, if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia, and you live in Australia, I should say, let me know, because I would love to get these beautiful new catalogs and the Celebration brochure out to you. Now, my customers that have purchased with me in the last 12 months, I have already ordered your catalogs for you, and they will start shipping out in December. I placed my order for those last night. So you're my customers, you know who you are. If you're unsure if I've ordered you one, feel free to ask me. But I will be ordering some additional copies as well to hand out to people, or for new customers. Or for those of you that might not already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, let me know. Now, also too, don't forget, we still do have our beautiful August to December mini catalogue with all of our beautiful Christmas products. This one goes through to December, I think it's the 4th. Yes. So this one finishes, and then the new mini catalogue starts. So yeah, so that's pretty exciting. We also have our annual catalogue, which is our really big bumper edition with all of those beautiful products in there. And then we've got our little brochure here as well, which is great for new crafters and new stampers, new card makers. This one's great for you because it gives you a place to start. So if you'd like any of those, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. But how about, oh, I've got a little message here from Jenny. Oh, no worries, Jenny. Yes, Jenny's been showing some of her friends how to use the water painter. I think it was water painters, wasn't it, Jenny? And yeah, she was showing some of her friends how to use them, which is awesome. That's so fantastic. Jenny, you'd make an awesome demonstrator. You're already doing it, look. That's really exciting, Jenny. It's lovely to be able to share our love of craft with our friends, isn't it? That's one of the big reasons why I love doing what I love, because I love sharing it with people and I love inspiring other people to be creative, and I just love seeing that joy in people. So yeah. Alrighty, so how about we get playing with some of these new products now? As I said, I can't show you the inside of the catalogue yet, the new mini, but I can show you the actual products that I have, and I can show you projects that I've made with them. So we're going to be playing with some of the new products out of here today, so you can see some of them. And yes, Jenny, see, you would make an awesome demonstrator. You need to have a chat with me, Jenny. You really do. I know I've already said it to you before too. And see, you've got your friends all saying it too. See, they all want you to join as well. No, seriously, I would love to have a chat with you, Jenny. If it's something you would like to do, I'd love to have a chat with you about that. That would be super exciting. All right, so how about we get ready to play with some of these beautiful new products, and you can get a little sneak peek of what's coming up. All right, so let me clear the deck here. Put all of this over onto my other desk, which I'm glad you can't see today. Usually I have it really neat and tidy, but today it's a dumping ground. Thankfully I have two desks. Thankfully I have somewhere else to put all this stuff. Okay, hopefully that will stay there and won't fall off the desk. All right, so what I'm going to do is I will cover up the camera and I'll flip it down to my desktop so that you can see what I'm doing down on the desktop. Now, if you've got any questions while I'm crafting, feel free to pop them in there. Jenny says no. It's super fun, Jenny. It's really, really fun. And you get the discount, don't forget. You can get more products that way. I'll put the camera down on the desktop and then you can all see what we are playing with today. All right, just bear with me for a moment. I'm going to cover up the camera and get it down onto the desktop. Here we go. Let me flip those screens before I forget. Sometimes I forget to do that. Oh, that's a bit squeaky. Oh, I think that's not out far enough. Hang on a minute. Sorry, everyone. Bear with me. Okay, how's that looking? We'll get some lights down on the subject while the iPad is catching up. Hopefully we're up the right way. Yep, we'll just move everything over a little bit. There we go. Okay, so get this all lined up and moved over into the right position. I think I have to start moving my stand over a little bit because I always seem to be over too far nowadays. I think it's because of the new pop socket I've got on the back of my phone. It means I have to put my phone in a little bit further into my holder because otherwise it doesn't stay put. Oh, okay, we'll get that all ready. Over this way, we're getting there. There we go, there we go. All right, so yes, Jenny, listen to Tina. Tina Marie said to Jenny, I said no to Mandy, but is so good at, oh, Mandy is so good at walking you through it and she doesn't push you to sell. That's right. That's exactly right. And Tina Marie had come to quite a few of my classes actually, and so she'd heard about the joining offer many times until she finally decided to do it, and now she's enjoying the discount, aren't you, Tina Marie? All right, so I'm going to show you these new products first before we get started. Now I'm going to show you this stamp set, and I've touched on this stamp set before. Oh, before I do that, wait. Let me just tell you. First of all, to shop with me in my online store, you just go to my blog, which is mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com, and you'll find the shop button on the top left-hand side. Now, next to the shop button is the join button, Jenny. Just letting you know, it's right there. Yeah, so you can shop with me there via my blog, and this is my host code for November, so this one will be changing tomorrow, or actually tomorrow or the next day. I can't remember when my other one expires, but in the next couple of days this will change, and it's always up on my blog, so you'll see my host code always there up on my blog if ever you're unsure what my host code is. And if you're shopping with me, use the host code when you're in your basket, in your shopping basket, and then that way when your orders are over $50 and you've used the host code, I can send you a thank you gift. I love sending thank you gifts to my customers, and I'd love to be able to do that for you. Now, the products that I'm showing you, as I said, are available from the 5th of January for customers, or from tomorrow for demonstrators. Now, this one has got my little sticky labels all over because I knew which types of seed pods these were from on stage, but I didn't actually know which one was which. So I googled them last night to look up which one was which. So this is the Enjoy the Moment stamp set, and it's inspired by nature, of course. So let me show you all of these different seed pods. So this one's hard to pronounce. It's Brachychiton. That's a Brachychiton seed pod. These ones here are poppy seed pods. This one here is lotus seed pod. Probably this is the most popular one that most people would know, this one and this one. This one over here, this one is sweet gum balls seed pods, and they come from a liquid amber tree, and this one has significant memories for me with my significant childhood memories for me growing up, because we had liquid amber trees in our backyard growing up, and they were huge. They were up taller than the power lines. They really were huge. And my sisters and I, or one sister in particular, and I used to climb those trees, and we used to play games in them. We used to get cicadas in them and catch the cicadas, and we used to have so much fun. We used to have all those tin cans with the string between them that we used to have. We used to have them strung up between the two, like the bush telegraph. We used to have them strung up between the two big trees down the back, and we'd talk to each other through the tin cans on the string. And sometimes we'd put a pulley with a little message box in it, and we'd put messages in, and we'd pull them across the pulley from one tree to the other. So much fun. But when these went to seed and they fell down, they became very dry and prickly, and if you trod on one, oh my goodness, boy did you know about it. They hurt like crazy. And they're quite big. They're like, you know, like that size round, and there's usually a couple on a what do you call it, like on a stem. Yeah, but yeah, so many great memories about liquid amber trees. Anyway, so I was really excited when I heard that that's what that one was. So this one here and this one here are from the gooseberry, also known as the goldenberry tree. So these are gooseberry and goldenberry seed pods. And then this one down the bottom here, This is a maple seed pod. And interestingly, a maple tree looks quite similar to a liquid amber tree in the shape of the flowers and things like that. The original mobile, yes, Tina Marie, definitely. Yes. Yeah. So that is a really beautiful stamp set. It's a red rubber stamp set, and that's the one we're going to be using today. So I really, really love this one. And I'm looking forward to doing a lot more with it as well. But today we're going to be using the poppy seed pods in our card today. And there's lots of beautiful sentiments here as well for lots of different things. We've got good things are worth waiting for, just like things growing from a seed, of course. A little note, which is a fantastic sentiment to use for any sentiment, for any card, any occasion. Even if you're just sending a little card to a friend just to say hi, can always pop that little sentiment on there. We've got enjoy the moment, friendship is found in simple things, and happy birthday. So lots of great sentiments there that you could use for lots of different things. And the other thing, I'm about to sneeze, sorry. Oh, pardon me. The other new thing that we are going to be using is our new blending brushes, which I'm super, super excited about. Now, when we had our on-stage pre-order, or as we know it as the Product Purchase Premiere, or PPP, we were able to order one set of these brushes, but I will definitely be ordering some more tomorrow when I put in my pre-order. But these are, and you can see I've used a couple of them, which we're going to be using today. So you get 3 in the pack. And these little brushes are made of super fine fibers. They're like little hairs, and they look like a sponge, but that's actually fibers. And they're super, super soft. They feel beautiful to just rub on your hands as well, and on your face. Be careful not to pick up too many oils in them though if you're doing that, because if you're going to use it on your ink, you don't want to you know, wreck your cards. But they're great for sponging effects on your cards, and I'm going to show you how to use them today. So we do have our sponge daubers, as you know. I'm also going to be using one of those today. Oh, I need to replace this one. I just saw it starting to perish. I've had this one for quite a while. So we do have our sponge daubers, and we have our Stampin' Sponges as well. Now, each one of these coloring tools, you use them kind of in a similar way, but they have a different finish with them. And you'll actually see today, this one with the brushes is much softer than with the dauber. With the dauber, you get a much concentrated area of color and a much deeper color, whereas with the brushes, it's much softer. I really, really like these two. They've got a really flexible handle as well, so they work really well. I like to use it with my finger on the back too, so that I've got good control there. But yeah, let's have a play with them and I'll just show you. Okay, so I'll pop them aside for the moment. So they are the new products that we're going to be using today. I'm just trying to think, was there anything? No, they're the only new products that we're using today. The other products that we'll be using are ones that you already know. So we'll set that one aside. This is the card that we're going to be creating. It's a super, super simple layout, really easy to recreate, but the focus is on the technique within this card. Okay, so I've got a couple of different techniques in here, but mainly focusing on using the blending brushes, which I'm going to show you today. So let's get started. So I'll pop that over to the side. So I've got all my bits and pieces prepared. I'll give you all of the dimensions to these. If you want to write them down, if you would like to recreate this card, feel free to write these dimensions down. So grab a pen. Okay, so hang on a sec. I'm going to need to grab a tissue. I just sneezed and now my nose is going to want to run. Very bad timing to sneeze on a Facebook Live. Okay, so we have got a base of crumb cake cardstock. and it's half of an A4 sheet. So it measures at 21 centimeters by 14.85 centimeters. It's scored and folded at 10.5. Okay. And then remember to use your trusty bone folder and burnish the edge there, the folded edge there, so that'll give you a nice crisp fold. Makes your card sit down beautifully. Then we have a piece of DSP. Now this designer series paper is from the In Good Taste designer series paper, and it's the dark wood piece. As you can see, it's one of the darker ones in the set, in the pack, sorry. And this one measures 7.6 centimeters by 14.85. Then we've got another piece of crumb cake, and this crumb cake measures 6.1 centimeters by 13.5 centimeters. And then we've got our piece of Whisper White, which we're going to stamp on and colour. And this one is 5.6 centimeters by 13 centimeters. And then we've got a little die cut stitched rectangle of Very Vanilla. So I just die cut this out of a piece of scrap. If you don't have this die, I'll show you the die set that I used. So it's the stitched, the rectangle stitched dies, and it's this little one here that I used. So if you don't have these dies, you can just cut a plain rectangle if you would like to. It's an easy shape to cut, and it measures 3 centimeters by 4 point, trying to see that without my glasses on, 4.3, I think it is, 4.3. Okay, so we're going to start with our Whisper White piece. Now this is actually thick Whisper White because we're going to be using our Stampin' Blends as well. And also too, I wanted to show you that I had a little play. Actually, let's do that before I start with this one. I had a little play earlier with, or last night actually, with this stamp set. And I tried a few different things. So I was trying with the lotus seed pod and the poppy seed pods. And I tried a few different things that I wanted to show you first. Oh, that's my scrap paper. You don't need to see my scrap paper. So the first thing I did was, now let me see which one was which. This one, okay. So first of all, I stamped in Versamark ink, and I just embossed that in clear. Then I used my brushes, and I used Balmy Blue and Granny Apple Green to just go over the design. And you can see that it's brought up the stamped image, but really softly, which is really pretty. And actually it's showing up better on camera than I thought it would. Well, what I'm seeing playing back on my iPad is actually showing up more than I thought it would. So that's with the clear. Then I did the same again, but this time I used the white embossing powder. And you can see that it's popped even more off the cardstock. You can see the comparison there with the two. You can see it a lot better with the white embossing powder. Same thing again. This time what I did is I actually used the same brush. This one I used, I think I used the 2 different brushes on this one for each color. But then with this one, I just tried using the one brush, and I did the Granny Apple Green first and then the Balmy Blue, but I found that it held some of the green, so it changed the color of the Balmy Blue, which looks great. Like, I love that color, but it looks sort of a bit more like a mint macaron. You can probably see the difference in the colors there. So that's why I want to get some more brushes, just so I've got some for the different color families, like some. So I'll probably have one for the yellows and oranges, one for the greens, one for the blues, one for the neutrals, and one's for the pinks and reds. Then what I also did was I used my Stamparatus, and I did, what color did I end up using for that? I think it was Early Espresso. So I stamped first in Early Espresso, and then using my Stamparatus, I stamped over the top again in Versamark, and then embossed that in clear. Not sure if you can see with the light shining on that to give that shiny finish. And then I did the same again with the blending brushes. You can see I've gone a little bit heavy here that's because I didn't blend properly. So I'm going to show you how to avoid that today, so you don't get those blobs of colour like that. So yeah, so I had a little bit of a play last night, and then I did one, I stamped in the, which one was it? It was the soft suede, no, crumb cake. I stamped in the crumb cake, but for the card that I wanted to do, I just felt that it was a little bit light. So then I went to the soft suede, which is what is on my finished project there. So yeah, so just had fun last night, just having a little play. So I just wanted to show you how you can get some different looks there with that. I also made a sentiment label, but then in the end I decided that this one was a little bit big for this card, but I used some of the offcuts of the piece of cardstock that I'd already used with the blending brushes. But then I decided not to use that on this project because it was a little bit too long and I felt it took away from the seed pods in this particular design. So I didn't use that one, but I've got that to use on another project. All right, so let's get to the project now. Okay, so it's always a good, when you're using blending brushes, it's always a good idea to have a scrap piece of paper underneath you. Now I do have my grid paper, but I'm going to use an additional piece of grid paper, and I'm just going to use my mini grid paper. Have you seen the mini grid paper in the catalogue? This comes from the annual catalogue, and it's in the section where the Stamparatus is. This actually is made perfectly for the to fit perfectly on the Stamparatus, but you can purchase them separately. Oh, hi Rose, great to see you. Yeah, it fits perfectly in the Stamparatus, but it's great to use for this kind of thing as well when you know that you're going to be doing some messy play, as I like to call it. All right, so Balmy Blue. Yeah, so that paper, it comes in a pad, and you get heaps. It lasts for ages. And what else was I going to say? Can't remember what I was going to say, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to start first with our Balmy Blue. We're going to do Balmy Blue at the top, and then we'll do Granny Apple Green at the bottom. And all you do is you just take your ink pad. Actually, I'll just move that one over to the side. I'll bring this over to the right-hand side because I'm right-handed. You're just going to rub your brush on your pad, on your ink pad. And then I like to just rub a little bit off first on my scrap paper, just so you're not taking a big blob of ink onto your cardstock. And then what you do is you start off the page, or you can start in a circular motion, but it's best to start off the page, and then you just go round and round in circles and you bring that colour in. And you just keep repeating that process. You just keep going round and round. Oh, Amanda says she loves the blending brushes. Yeah, they're great. They're lots of fun. So we're going to go about halfway down with the Balmy Blue. Now, at first when you're laying down the colour, it doesn't look like you're getting very much, but very soon you'll see that colour come about, and you just keep going over it. But you'll actually see, if I move my piece of cardstock away, can you see how I've got that little blue hue around where the cardstock was? So you can actually see that the colour is going down. Now if you want to start over this side, you can start over that side and bring it in, but just keep your circular motions going. It gives you a really good workout on your arms. But yeah, I did find that it was a good idea to have a different brush for the blues to the greens. Otherwise, they were drawing in the colours from each other, and I wasn't really getting like the true colour. But if you want to blend your colours to create a different colour, then by all means use the same brush. You just have to be really careful about not taking the colour back to your ink pad though, if it's a different colour. So of course I wouldn't want to use my brush that has a lot of green on it straight onto my blue without checking first that most of that green has come off. And by doing that, I would rub that onto my cardstock just to be sure that it wasn't holding too much of that green, because you certainly don't want to change the color of your actual ink pad. All right, so let's change now to the Granny Apple Green. And you'll notice with the Granny Apple Green, it's quite a bit darker than the Balmy Blue. The Balmy Blue is a really soft color. So then you can start blending those colors into each other a little bit there, so that you don't have like a defined line between the two colors. You do want them sort of blending together. And that's why these are called blending brushes too, because for blending the color. So then you can keep going with that and get that as dark as you want it. I'm fairly happy with the coloration I've got now, actually. That's fairly good. But if you wanted it darker, you could keep going with that. I might come in with just a little bit more blue. I love that Stampin' Up! Have brought out their own blending brushes. I'm so excited about it. There we go. So we've got our blue fading there into the green. Hey Kathleen, it's a great effect, isn't it? Yeah, it's really beautiful. Very soft as well. Okay, so there we go. We'll pop that one to the side. So you can see now I've got that gorgeous hue. So it's great too for doing masking techniques as well, using the brushes. So if you have a mask of a particular shape and you blend over the top of the mask, then you get that gorgeous hue, or what's the other word? Not silhouette. Can't think of the word. Somebody will remind me of the word. You get that halo, like a halo effect, which is pretty cool. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to stamp our poppy seed pods, and we're going to stamp them in soft suede. I'm not going to be embossing these ones. They're just going to be stamped just as they are. So this one is, have to ink this one up diagonally because it's quite a long stamp. All right, and this is just going to be stamped in the middle. I'm just going to turn this a little bit sideways so that I can get that in there, hopefully lined up. We'll give that a nice firm press. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, now while we've got that soft sea foam out and we're letting that ink dry a little bit, I'm going to dauber around the edges, and I'll show you how different it is with the dauber, because you get quite a deeper coloration using a dauber. And if I was, actually I'll show you, if I was using a dauber on my paper, usually I dab them off a bit first before I do them. But then if I was using my circular motion, you don't quite get, although this one's perishing a little bit too because I've used this one for a while, but you get quite a different effect than to the blending brushes, and it's quite different. I'll just show you the difference. It's not as smooth. Like, I do love my daubers and they have their place and I do use them for different things, but it's not as soft as with the brushes. I think because of the tiny fibers in these brushes, you get a much softer color, like a really softer color. And I'm not even sure if the camera is showing that up as much, but it's more of a textured look, I guess you'd say, with using the sponge daubers. But one of the things that I love doing with the sponge daubers is distressing my edges. I do that on a lot of my projects and they are fantastic for that. Hence why my daubers get replaced fairly regularly, because I'm always constantly doing this and it does tend to tear them up a little bit over time. although I'm not really changing them too frequently. So I love distressing the edges, and because this is sort of a natural theme that we're going with, whoops, then just distressing the edges of this just makes it look so much better. So to do this, just kind of holding the dauber at almost 45 degrees. Sometimes I like to angle it up a little bit if I want a little bit more ink to show on the edges. And sometimes if you get a little bit of extra ink like that's okay, because it just adds to the effect. We might do it intentionally down the bottom here too to make it sort of, there we go. Great. Oh, now while we've got that out, let's stamp our sentiment as well. Okay, we'll set that aside. We're going to do a bit of colouring here in a moment with our Stampin' Blends. So I just want that ink to be really dry before I do that. Okay, and so I'm just going to use the Enjoy the Moment sentiment, and I'm using the stitched rectangle that I had already die cut out of the Very Vanilla. There we go. So that is done, and we're going to dauber the edges of that one as well, so that we have that one looking, oh, went even heavier then. See how the colour is quite more concentrated than with the blending brushes. Which is great if that's the look you're going for. But I love the softness. I just think they're, like, I just love doing all different colouring techniques, using all the different mediums, and just for using, yeah, just getting lots of different effects. I think it's really fun. Okay, so we've got that one ready, so we'll pop that one over to the side. Now with this one, we are going to use our Stampin' Blends, and we're going to be using our Crumb Cake Light and Dark. Where is our name? There we go. So we're using Crumb Cake Light and Dark on our beautiful poppy seed pods. So I'm going to start with my light. And, oh, that reminds me, I've got to do that one too. Don't let me forget. I've got to stamp our seed pods onto the base as well. So we'll do that in a moment. So I'm just going to colour the whole seed pod with the crumb cake, because otherwise you're kind of seeing the colours behind that we've used with the blending brushes. You're kind of seeing that through the seed pods. And of course we want the seed pods to sort of look like their really realistic colour, which is brown, not blue and not green. So we'll just colour over the top of that to make them a bit more realistic. I love my Stampin' Blends. It's another colouring tool that I really, really love, is my Stampin' Blends. I use them a lot. Okay, so we'll just give them. Now, for those of you that might not have used Stampin' Blends before, these are an alcohol-based marker. So when you're using these, they dry really quickly, which is awesome. They blend together beautifully. Now the inks that you need to use for these, you can use our classic Stampin' pads. If you want a black, the black that you need to use with these is the Memento black, not the Stays On, because the Stays On is water-based and it will actually just melt away. If you use this, it'll just blend and bleed and not work very well. So with black you need Memento, or if you want to use colour, then any of our colours will work. There we go. Okay. And then we can just blend that down a little bit. If there's any harsh edges, you can just go back in with your light colour, with your light crumb cake, and just blend down any of those harsh edges. This is actually a really good one because of all the line detail in this stamp set, you really don't get any of those harsh edges in your colour. So it doesn't really take too much blending, which is great. All right, so we'll set that aside to dry, and while we're doing that, we're going to stamp a few little seeds onto our crumb cake. So I'm going to bring back in that scrap piece of paper, and I'll turn it over this time. Actually, let's move this one over. So I'm going to use crumb cake ink with my little seeds. These are the little tiny seeds that are at the bottom of the stamp set. Hard to miss, actually, if you're looking at the stamp set, because you see all these big ones and then you realize, oh, there's a tiny little stamp set down there. That's a tiny little stamp, sorry, in the stamp set. So I'm going to stamp these off because they are quite dark. So I'm going to stamp them off once. Actually, let's just move that under them. So I'm going to stamp them off once, and I'm just going to keep rotating the block so that they're not always going to be in the same direction. I think I forgot to stamp that one off, but that's okay. Let's see. So just stamping a few here and there. Let's see, we'll go this way. There we go. So that we can see them when we lay down. We're going to be laying down our panel over to the left-hand side. So we want to be able to see some of those seed pods on the right-hand side when we put all our layers on. Okay. There we go. All right. So now we can just start layering that up. And I just like to check first to see. Yep, so we've got a good amount of those seeds showing there at the side. Once we put our paper down, we'll see them on the base there, so that'll be really good. I'm just going to actually move this up a bit because it's getting in my way. It's my little banner, which I'm going to need a new one soon. This one's getting a little bit ratty on the corners. Okay, so let's start adhering all of this down. We're just going to adhere down our designer series paper, just using a little bit of not Tear and Tape, sorry. I was going to say Tear and Tape. You can use Tear and Tape, of course, but I'm using Stamp and Seal, and this one is nearly empty, so it's probably going to run out while I'm filming. But that's okay. I've got my Stamp and Seal Plus nearby as well. All right, so I'm just leaving a little border. It's about a 3mm border-ish. I haven't really measured the border. I'm just using my eye for that. But this piece is actually meeting top and bottom. It's meeting the, it's the same length as the cardstock base itself. Okay, so we've got that one, that's ready. Then we're going to layer our stamped piece onto our crumb cake layer. Just again with a nice even border. Hopefully. Always take my time to lay them down so that I get... Oh, you love the Stampin' Plus? The Stampin' Seal Plus? This one, Tina Marie? Yeah, it's really easy to use, this one. They're both a little bit different. The Stampin' Seal Plus is actually a little bit easier to use than the Stampin' Seal. But once you do get the hang of the Stampin' Seal, then it works quite well. Okay, so we've got that one ready. We're going to layer that down with some Stampin' Dimensionals. But before we do that, we're going to wrap some linen thread around that first. So I've got my linen thread here and I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. So I'll leave a bit of a tail so I've got enough to tie a bow. And then, yeah, much easier it is, isn't it? Yeah, 2, 3. And it's stronger too. The Stampin' Seal Plus is actually stronger than the Stampin' Seal. Hence the name, Stampin' Seal Plus. So I'll just trim that off there. There we go. So I'm just going to wrap that around 3 times. As well, I did wrap it around 3 times. And let me just organize my ends here. There we go. That one's ended up. Oh, okay. I know why. That one ended up underneath because I wrapped the other 2 around the top of it. Okay. So then I'm just going to tie a bow. Now, if you have trouble tying a bow at this point, what you can actually do, which is what I usually do, but let's have a go at this first and see, is I tie a knot first and then I tie my bow. Just then usually you need to put a little glue dot underneath just to hold it. Yeah, I'm going to have to do it again, I think, because I'm not going to be able to hold this. If you have an extra pair of hands nearby, get them to put their finger on the twine for you while you tie it. That's usually what I do. I'm like, Amber, can you just hold this for me while I tie my bow? Oh, there we go. Look, I did it not too badly this time. Otherwise, yeah, just put a little glue dot down to hold your knot as you're tying your bow. There we go. That's not too bad. Now we want it up about there-ish because we want room to be able to put our sentiment layer. So what you can do is grab your sentiment, just check to see if it's going to fit below where your twine is or your thread is. Yep, that looks pretty good. Okay, and then we can go ahead and put our Stampin' Dimensionals onto the back of this one. Where is my trusty? Here it is, my Take Your Pick tool. So laying down plenty of dimensionals so that we don't have any saggy bits, as I always say. There and there, and I think that should be all good. Just remove those backings. When you're removing the backings this way with your Take Your Pick tool, I find that I can sort of hold about 4 comfortably on the Take Your Pick tool, and then I have to get rid of those ones before I pick up some more. Otherwise it gets too bulked up and it's hard to pick them up. Okay, so then we're going to now center this onto the Designer Series panel. So we've got the Designer Series panel over to the left-hand side with just a little bit of a gap. I think it's about a 3mm gap, 2 or 3 millimeters, that'll be okay. And then we just line this up now in the center there of the Designer Series paper. Oh, you're loving it, Jenny? Fantastic. I'm glad you love it. That's good. All right, great. And then we're going to take our sentiment. Now I'm going to mount that up on dimensionals as well. So because this layer is already mounted on dimensionals, and then I'm going to mount this on dimensionals, I'm going to have it hanging off. So I'm just going to put 1 layer of dimensionals under this side, but on this side that's going to be hanging off, I'm going to do 2 layers of dimensionals because it's going to be sitting up off the base there. So I'll show you what I mean. So we need 1 layer on this side, which is going to be sitting on the card. And then we want 2 layers on this side. So we've got 1. I'll remove the backing. So I'm removing the backing from those ones that are on that side. And I'm going to put another dimensional on top. There we go. So now we've got 2 layers on this side, which is going to be, when I flip that over, that's on the outside edge or the right hand edge, and 1 layer on the other side, and I'll show you why. Okay. Oh, hey Athena, just finished work. Oh, great. Yes, definitely catch the replay. No worries. We're using the blending brushes today, Athena. All right, so now when I go to line this up, what I do is if I hold it down low, I can feel where those dimensionals on the right hand side are touching the edge of the cardstock. So then I know that's where I can line it up. Okay, so then we've got 1 layer of dimensional on this side and 2 layers of dimensional on this side because we've got this already up on a layer and this already up on a layer. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Okay, so with my twine, I'm just going to roughen up the edges. I like to always distress the ends, I should say, the ends of my twine or linen thread, just to give a little bit of texture. I don't like them just blunt, but if you like them just blunt, you are welcome to just leave them as they are. I always like to just give a little bit more texture. There we go. And then we're going to come in with our, oh, now I have to find them, the champagne rhinestones. There they are. Beautiful champagne rhinestones. Now, because of the coloration of them, they go beautifully with this natural toned design that I've created here. So I'm just going to use some small ones. I tried on the original card with a large one, but I just felt it was a bit too big. It took away from the image, and I certainly don't want to take away from that beautiful stamped image. So I'm just using the medium and the small ones, and I'm going to pop 2 down like so. So I've got the medium sized one in the corner, and then the little small one, the little teeny tiny one. And I'm going to pop one down here on my sentiment label to add a bit of bling there as well. So you can add a bit more bling if you want to. I didn't want to go over the top because, again, I didn't want to take away from the actual image there. So there you go. So there is our card. Really quick and easy to put together, but using those beautiful blending brushes to create that lovely background, that lovely soft background. And then we used our dauber as well for around the edges of our stamped piece and our sentiment. We did some stamping off in the background, and we did some colouring with our Stamp and Blend. So we've used quite a few different colouring techniques today. So what have we used? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the stamping off isn't really a colouring technique as such, but it is an additional technique. So there you go. So you've just had a little mini technique class today. I hope you really liked that. And I hope that I have excited you for some of the brand new products that are coming out in the January to June mini catalogue. But yeah, these blending brushes, I so can't wait to get some more of these to do some more colouring with these, because they're just beautiful. And of course you can blend several different colours together. I've gone top to bottom, but you could go diagonally, or you could go in different colour blocks, or blend them all together in different ways. Lots and lots of ideas and opportunity for blending that way and colouring your beautiful backgrounds. And also too, you can use them for colouring your stamped images as well. So yeah, so there you go. So I hope you really enjoyed that card. Really super easy and quick to put together. Very simple layout, as I said. Anyone can do that. That's really, really easy to put together. So there you go. And I think this is going to be my shortest live ever, because I've just looked at the time and it's only 5:10 and we've already created our card. How amazing is that? All right. Oh, thanks, Rose. Thanks, Tina Marie. I'm glad that you liked it. Yeah, super easy. But yeah, definitely get some of these blending brushes. They are going to be so much fun. They're going to get so much use and be super popular. All right, so I am now going to cover up the camera. If you've got any questions about any of those things that I talked about today, or any of the products that I showed you, pop them in the comments while I'm putting the camera back up to my face, and then I can answer them for you when I flip it up. All right, so just give me a moment. I'm going to flip that camera back up. Oh, thanks, Amanda. Thanks, Athena. So yeah, let me know if you've got any questions. Oh, my clamps are getting very squeaky. Alrighty. There we go. I'll just adjust my lights. There we go. So there you go. So that goes to show, let me just hold my card up And we'll do my little picture I do every week. This is my card. I always like to use that as my image when I post these onto YouTube so that people can see, when they go to my YouTube channel, they can see the finished card so they know what they're going to be watching. So if you wonder why I always do that every week, that's why. Yeah, so it goes to show that you don't need to do a complicated layout. You can just do a really simple layout. Just focus on those coloring techniques to add interest to your design, and you can make a really beautiful card really quick and easily like that. But you just need the tools, that's all. So just grab some of these. I really recommend these blending brushes. They are beautiful. So I might even end up doing a technique class with these in my technique club. And again, remember, if you are interested in my technique club, please let me know, because I would love to give you more information about that. I have spaces available in my technique club. So our next one is going to be the 19th of December, and I'll be posting up that event very soon, so watch out for that. And then from January, they'll be on the 4th Saturday of each month. So, thanks Athena. Yeah, I really liked it. It's beautiful. And that stamp set is super easy because they're all natural. They're all seed pods. So of course seed pods are a fairly neutral color, aren't they? They're usually browns. So it makes it really easy for coloring and for designing cards around those natural sort of, you know, images. Use a lot of neutral colors. You can pop a bit of color in there too with your designer series paper, or with perhaps your matte layers. Yeah, so much you can do with that, but very easy to create with that stamp set. So it's a really great stamp set. That will be a really great stamp set for new card makers as well, new stampers. So hey Julie. Julie asks, can the blending brushes pads be changed, or can they be used with the same of other colors? Oh, okay. So they can't be changed. They are fixed. So the little bristles are embedded into the plastic surround of the head. I have heard that some people have washed them under running water and then set them aside to dry, but you probably would leave them to dry overnight from what I've heard. I haven't tried doing it myself because I'm just planning to buy a whole heap of them for my different color families. So I'm planning to have one for my yellows and oranges, and then another one for my pinks and reds, one for my greens, one for my blues, one for my neutrals. I'm not sure about my purples, whether or not my purples will work with my blues, or they might need a separate brush. I'm not sure. They come in a pack of 3. So it's a matter of, I would suggest, if you're unsure, get a pack of 3 to begin with, and then yes, as Athena said, you can have one for every color family. Yes, Athena's been using blending brushes for quite a while. I've actually had some for a while, but I never used them because Stampin' Up! Didn't have their own one, so I knew that I couldn't demonstrate with them. So I kind of bought them, but then didn't use them. Now they have their own, so now I can use them. So now I can use the Stampin' Up! Ones, so I'm excited. Yeah, so probably better to have one for each color family. So maybe grab a couple of packs of them, and then just have one for each of your color families. Yeah, so I wouldn't say that you would need one for every single color, Julie, because we've got, how many colors do we have? Like 52 colors or something in the range. You wouldn't need 52 brushes. Like with my Daubers, I do have one for every single color, but they're much smaller and they're a lot cheaper to buy, and they come in a 5-pack. These only come in a 3-pack, and they're a lot bigger as well. So yeah, oh, there you go. So Athena has 6 that she uses for, and that covers all of the color families. Thanks, Athena, that's very helpful. So great, so I'll grab another packet and have one for each of my color families. Could you use one color on one half of it to get 2 colors per brush? Probably not, I wouldn't think, because the bristles are, if I hold them like that, the bristles are rounded. So the majority of the color actually sits within the rounded part there at the base of the brush. So probably couldn't use 2 different colors per brush. That's a good question though. Very good question. Because otherwise you'd kind of be trying, yeah, I think they would blend together. Because I think you'd be, let me see. Well, I don't know, you could try it. You would then have to use the brush sort of at the back end for one color and then the front end for the other color. Not quite sure how that would work if they'd end up blending together. You wouldn't have perhaps as much control over the colors. I don't know, you can try it and see. I've not seen anybody do that as yet, but they're new, so I don't know, maybe someone's tried that. If you try it, let me know if it works. Great questions. I love that you're all asking these questions. We've got some other beautiful products coming in the new catalogue as well, and I will be demonstrating with some more of them over time. Oh, thinking about the sides, doing it on the sides, Tina. No, I don't think you could on the sides, because when I'm doing that, I'm feeling the bristles are catching because of the length of the bristles. They're sort of, and because if you go on the edge, you can feel them catching and it might actually fray them out. That's what it feels like is going to happen if I do that on this edge with the bristles. It feels like it's going to fray them outwards. So I'm not sure if doing it that way would work. I think your best bet would be doing the back and the front of it, but not on the sides of it. I think it would catch. I don't know. You could try it. It might damage it though, I'm not sure. I don't have an answer for that one. You can try it though. Let me know if you try it and it works. But yeah, they're so soft. I love the clean ones. They'd be nice for makeup brushes actually. All right, well, I better let you all go. So it was lovely to have you all here. Thank you all for your great questions too, and for interacting and chatting with me today. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, so if there's anything that I can do for you, let me know. If you've got any ordering questions or product questions, get in contact with me and let me know. I'd love to help you. If you have any troubles at all, just notice I'm getting a bit shiny. It's a bit warm in here. If you have any issues, if you ever have any issues with ordering online in my online store, please let me know, because I'd love to help you with your orders. And if you need me to pop an order in for you, I certainly can do that. I just can't order using the host code though. That's for online orders. So that's the only thing, but I'm certainly happy to pop in orders for you if you need me to help you with that. So yeah, if there's any other questions that you have, or I can help you with anything, please let me know. I'd love to help you. And remember too that anyone joining during December can get these brand new products in their starter kit. If that's something that you're interested in, then please let me know. I'd love to have a chat with you about that. Okay, so I hope you all have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you all again next Monday. And we haven't got many more weeks till Christmas, have we? How's everyone going with their Christmas cards? Oh, we just added mine up last night. I've got to make 82 Christmas cards. Well, I will have a little bit of help from my helper, Amber. But yes, between the two of us, we have to, well, we've got some already made, but we need to have a total of 82 cards this year. So that is the most that I've ever had to have. So yes, so good luck with all your Christmas card making, and hope it goes well. And I look forward to seeing you all again next week at 4 o'clock on Monday. Until then, happy crafting everyone. Bye.